Hey guys, we're back. Angel O, Jimmy Weed. We are
Ready to
here.
go.
We are here. We're excited. I'm super excited.
You are. You are.
Yeah,
I bet you are.
I mean, you can tell. I'm excited today. Kind of put my gear away, and then I had to bring my gear back out.
Exactly. All of a sudden, after you saw, the end of the Rams season, you're like, oh man. All right, enough about the Rams right now. But I told you. Remember, I told you, the Rams won't get to the next step. They won't get to a Super Bowl again with Jared Goff.
Well, we talked about
2
this
weeks after that. What happens?
Well, we talked about this in the last episode. Well, one of the last one or the one before, we started talking about my Rams again. I was like, whoa, we stick to the Bucks and the Packers, and here we are again talking about my Rams.
Well, you know what? They're the talk of the town right now. They're the talk of the NFL. Why? Because of that trade with the Lions for Matthew Stafford. I think that one came out of left field for everyone that was keeping tabs on what was going on at the beginning, of the Lions saying that Matthew Stafford was available. Immediately, apparently, a third of the league, started reaching out to the Lions and saying, hey, you know what? What's it going to take? And apparently a bunch of teams, started inquiring because, like we mentioned in the last episode, there's a lot of teams that need a quarterback, or their quarterback situation is tenuous at best going into the 2021 season. So now, all of a sudden, the Rams pulled a fast one on everyone. They pretty much mortgaged their future, which they have been doing since 2016, because that's when they drafted Jared Goff. It was their last number one pick. After that, I'll tell you what they've done with their number one picks. 2017 went to the Titans. 2018 to the Pats. 2019 to the Falcons. 2020 and 21 to the Jags for Jalen Ramsey. And now 2022 and 2023 go to the Lions for Matthew Stafford. Now this is, all things considered, two number ones, a third rounder in this year's draft, plus Jared Goff. But one of the things that I think is even better for the Rams than getting Matthew Stafford is they got rid of Jared Goff's contract, which was just an albatross around their neck. Because at the end of last season, they signed him to a 4-year extension worth $134 million. And you tell me, Angel, were you confident that your Rams were going to get to another Super Bowl with Jared Goff at the helm?
I mean, I think we could get to one. I don't know if we'd win one, but
so what good is it to get to a Super Bowl and not win?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think he was the guy to put us over the hump. I completely agree with you with that. I think if we had Matthew Stafford against Green Bay, we would have won that game. We'd be in the Super Bowl right now if we had Matthew Stafford on our team. Right now, we would be in the Super Bowl.
Well, the thing is, a lot of the people around the league that evaluate talent, even from when he came out of college, from Georgia, he was the number one pick overall. And so this is, two number one picks get swapped, or players that were picked number one. But Matthew Stafford's arm, everyone says, is one of the best arms in the NFL. I mean, he basically kept the Lions afloat since 2009. He got to the playoffs on several occasions. They never, he was never able to make them win a playoff game. But then again, the Lions have a lot of problems, and a lot of their players, ex-players, have said, you know what? Matthew's the one that got us there. Stafford's the one that got us there. There were, a gazillion internal problems that, didn't allow us to reach our full potential. And I think Matthew Stafford fits in perfectly with Sean McVay's offense. He's someone who, if you look at him on film, if you look at his past games, Matthew Stafford does extremely well when he rolls out. And he can scramble, which is something that Jared Goff was not very good at. I mean, once you got him out of the pocket, his completion percentage went down significantly.
Once you hit Goff, it was over. It was over. You could tell how many games did he lose this year? I mean, just throwing interceptions like crazy. You know, it's funny. We talk about Mahomes, the sidearm, the this. If you look at Matthew Stafford, I mean, him or Roger, those guys have been throwing the sidearm, the no look touchdown passes. I mean, a freak of nature. You know, I mean, these guys are maybe Matthew Stafford and Clayton Kershaw are they've been
buddies
since they were little kids.
They're gonna get the barbecue together again in LA.
What's cool? I saw them in their little Dodger uniforms when they were kids, and obviously Stafford is an all around athlete. To play as he plays with the line, as he played with all the years with the Lions. I mean, put him on a team like the Rams with some playmakers and a number one defense. Oh man, it's on.
He's been injured, yes, but then again, he's been hit a lot. Even though he's been hit a lot, I mean, he waits till the very last minute to deliver that pass. I think he's one of those really tough guys. Whereas I think Jared Goff mentally is quite fragile. Because once you got to him and you started putting pressure on him and you hit him, he wasn't the same. So every time, when he faced pressure, he would shrink. He wasn't the same quarterback. And in cold weather, you know that he can't play. Yeah. He's proven that. So I don't know. Good luck to him in Detroit, having to play.
He's got a dome, though. He's lucky.
Yeah, he plays in the dome, but he's got to go play, in Chicago. Green Bay. So yeah, it's not easy. Minnesota, they play indoors now, so it's not that big a deal. But it's a very rough and tough division. Good luck to the Lions and Jared Goff. I think you could think of it this way. It was Jared Goff and a number one pick for Stafford, and the other number one pick and a third round pick for the Lions to take them with the contract. Basically, what the Rams wanted to do was get rid of that contract because he was owed guaranteed $43 million over the next 2 years, and with the signing bonus, I believe it was $54.3 million over the next 2 years.
Yeah, the contract
that's a lot. That's a lot of money. You
said it best before.
And that's without the extension kicking in.
Yeah, I know he's going to start kicking it. But you said it before. You interviewed Goff. He's not like he just didn't have that.
No, he doesn't have an aura of
that winner, that leader,
invincibility.
That leader that I'm going to win this game. Like he don't have that killer instinct like the Kobe's or the Tom Brady's. You put these guys in. If they're at the rim, they're in charge. You're shot to win, no matter who's around you. He's not that guy.
No, he's not that guy. And I think. The NFL is a copycat league. So one of the things that everybody's going to look at now is, do we have a team that is ready for success? Like Tampa, for example. They brought everybody back from that very good defense from last year. And this year, the defense has been phenomenal, right? They brought everybody back. Yeah. And then they plugged in Tom Brady. Look where they're at. Yes, it's Tom Brady, but look where they're at. I guess you could say the same thing for the Rams. They've got the number one defense in the NFL this past year, which they're going to try and bring everybody back. I don't know if they're going to be able to, but if they do, and then you plug in Matthew Stafford, you've got a good running back in Cam Akers who, did very well at the end of the year. Yep. You've got good receivers, a good tight end. I mean, this is a recipe for win now, because if not, it's going to be, they mortgage their future. And if they don't win in the next 2 years, then it's going to be very difficult because Matthew Stafford is under contract for the next 2 years. After that, he's a free agent. I don't know if they're going to be willing to pay him the type of money that he's going to want, or maybe, because he's in LA, he'll give him, the hometown discount. I don't know.
Well, he's only 32 years old. We got a good 5 years, solid years.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's thrown for over 45,000 yards.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
So I mean, the kid, he's not a kid anymore, but he's a good quarterback. He's a very solid quarterback.
He's gonna be in LA. He's gonna be on TV all the time. He's got good players around him. I think the only thing we're missing is a fast receiver, like a super, Tyreek Hill type of fast receiver, and you got Cup, Woods. I mean, if we get keep everybody else in place, Cam Akers did good this year.
Tyler Higbee, Gerald
Higbee,
Everett as
Everett and Higbee.
your tight ends. I mean, yeah, I think the Rams do need one more receiver.
I think this is going to attract people that want to come to LA and play. Playing in at SoFi Stadium, fans are back. Maybe hopefully next year.
Yep.
You got Matthew Stafford. Maybe take a little bit less money just to play with a team that has a chance to win. Who knows? Look at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay brought. I mean, they've got a all-star lineup. I mean, it's what they've done. So I don't know, but I'm fired up. I'm excited. I wish the season started right now. Can we put the Rams in just as a practice game for the?
It's going to be interesting.
Tampa Bay?
It's going to be interesting for sure, and I think the Rams, they're definitely up there. They tried to go out and get Aaron Rodgers. That was their first call when after the championship game. When Aaron Rodgers said, "Well, we don't know what the future holds for a lot of people, including me." That started raising red flags around the league. And the Rams called the Packers, but the Packers said he's not available.
Well, they talked to McVay and the general manager, Les Snead, and they weren't confident about Goff. They didn't really say – you heard them talking about Goff like, it was not – he was –
the fact that McVay didn't give him a vote of confidence and – unequivocally said that he was his starting quarterback for next season.
Yeah. And
when he said, it's going to be an open job between him and John Wolford, that's when you knew that Matthew, that they wanted somebody else. Plus, from what we have learned as of late, both McVay and Stafford were in Cabo and they met, and
what a coincidence. Wish I would have ran into them.
Exactly. But, Matthew Stafford's wife, Kelly Hall, is the sister of Chad Hall, which is the receivers coach from Buffalo, which is very good friends with Sean McVay because they were friends and rival quarterbacks in Texas when they were in high school. So, it's a little bit of a circle. However, apparently McVay didn't have that much of a relationship with Matthew Stafford before they met in Cabo and talked it out and whatnot. Look, I think it's a really good mesh here, a good fit for Matthew Stafford with the Rams. And we'll see, because the Lions got offers from San Francisco, who apparently didn't have or weren't willing to part with as much as the Lions got from the Rams. Apparently the Niners are willing to go forward with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, now they are.
That's what has been reported. But they were close, the Lions, to making a deal either with Carolina or Washington. And then at the very end, that's when the Rams kicked in with the rest of the deal, and I believe the Lions they're in a rebuilding mode, and now they've got
forever
2 number ones, a number 3. They've got a serviceable quarterback. Which, if you look at Jared Goff's numbers,
you got a decent quarterback.
They're not that bad. They're not that bad. His numbers are not that bad.
No,
I mean, he's thrown for 4,600 yards twice in his career, 2018 and 2019. He's been to the Pro Bowl twice. He has 107 touchdowns and 55 interceptions.
But he's declining. Ever since the Super Bowl, declining. His numbers are declining. I mean, he's a decent quarterback, but like I said, he's not going to get us a Super Bowl. We knew that, and we got Matthew Stafford, and I wish the NFL season was starting, next week. And, I mean, man, but it's going to be it's exciting. I can't wait. It's going to be big. So, but now that they got now that the Rams did what they did for Matthew Stafford, they're talking about now Deshaun Watson is going to want a lot more. It's going to have to give way more to get.
Well, and this is very interesting because early this week, apparently Nick Caserio, the GM for the Texans, he's received a lot of calls from other teams, and he's the one that said that Deshaun Watson is not available, that they're not willing to trade him. So now what's going to happen? You've got Deshaun Watson, who took everything off his social media dealing with the Texans. So his Twitter account, his Instagram account, everything else,
It's hilarious.
it's not, it's not tied to the Texans anymore. It's only Deshaun Watson. He's made it quite clear he doesn't want to be there. He wants to go somewhere else. But they don't have to trade him. So what is he going to do? He has a no trade clause, so he gets to decide where he wants to go. Basically, is he going to, sit the next season and force the Texans' hand? He would lose a lot of money. A lot of his incentives are tied, obviously, to him playing. So he's going to lose a lot of money. But if he really doesn't want to be there, then that's the only thing that he can do, is not report, not go to training camp, and then sit some of the games, just like maybe Le'Veon Bell did. However, you've got to remember another thing. This is only a trade. It's not about getting more money. But the salary cap for this next year is going to go down from about 195 to 175. So a lot of people are not going to be able to get what they think that they're worth.
Right.
However, we've already seen what Matthew Stafford commanded as far as draft picks. So if he commanded 2 number ones and a number 3 round pick plus a starting quarterback, so what? Deshaun Watson is going to require a team to, trade 3 number 1 picks, a young player, they're going to need a quarterback in Houston. So they're probably, a decent quarterback.
Right.
So yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
Well, yeah, this really rattled the whole NFL with the quarterback situation, because there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks. It was great. It just came out of nowhere, snagged it. I'm excited about the Rams picking up. I'm really excited. Matthew Stafford, I think I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the MVP next year. I know it's going out of the box, but for a lot of people,
now you're really going out on a limb.
Because the thing is that it's like the rebirth of his career, new team, new energy. I mean, this guy, he was a stud. I mean, even Aaron Rodgers, even Bruce Arians talks about Matthew Stafford. Love watching him warm up. Love seeing how he's a tough, competitor. He's hurt.
He's a tough competitor. Absolutely.
He's just an athlete, a tough guy from Highland Park, Texas, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Obviously we have the Super Bowl this weekend. We talk about some tough quarterbacks, and we got a young one, an older one. They're comparing it to. They're saying it's like Michael Jordan playing LeBron James in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady talking about he's going to play till he's 45 years old.
Till he's 45. He says that he will play until he realizes that he can't help the team anymore, and that's when he'll know that it's time to walk away. But he is probably playing at a higher level right now than he did the last 2 years with the Patriots. And 2 years ago, he went to the Super Bowl. He beat the Rams. It was a horrible Super Bowl. The lowest scoring Super Bowl, 13-3.
If Matthew Stafford was on that team, it'd be a different game. Because he can move around.
So, but it looks like Tom Brady found the fountain of youth in Tampa.
In Florida.
A lot of
nice weather.
Hey, remember, a lot of older people moved down to Florida. They moved down to Tampa. But he looks better now at 43 years old than he did in 2002 when he won his first Super Bowl with the Pats.
Well, Mike Evans was talking about yesterday how he takes care of himself.
Yeah.
He was saying that he's learned so much from him, how what he puts into his body, the way he works out.
He doesn't drink coffee, so no caffeine.
Yeah.
He goes to sleep early every day. His TB12 method.
Right. He was saying he's a really cool dude too. You've met him. I don't know. He's saying that he treats everybody with respect, from the worker to the cook to everybody in the.
I really can't say, because in the NFL it's a little bit different. When you get to talk to a player, it's usually in press conferences, unless you set something up for a one-on-one or post game. Tom Brady. All this time, remember, Bill Belichick always controlled and still controls what everyone in that organization says.
Funny.
So Tom was never going to say or badmouth or treat anybody with disrespect while he was in New England. So you really don't know what type of a person he is personally. At least I couldn't tell you. I never talked to him on a one-on-one.
Well, at least you're talking good about him right now.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
You're blushing.
Considering
Jimmy Weed's blushing about Tom Brady over here.
Yeah, right. But look, he's done things that nobody else has been able to do. 10th Super Bowl, looking for a 7th ring. The closest one is Joe Montana, who went to, I believe, 6 Super Bowls, won 4. No, he won 4.
Yeah, we're talking about Joe Montana. How many Super Bowls he's been to? I don't know how many.
4.
4. And
John
Elway was.
He got to 5.
He got to 5.
5, but only won 2.
Dan Marino.
Dan Marino got to 1.
That was against Montana, right?
Yep, and 85? He lost that one.
Yeah, that's too bad because he's one of my favorite quarterbacks growing up.
My favorite quarterback of all time. One of the reasons why I'm a Dolphin fan.
Oh, there it is, Florida, right?
Yeah, well, Well, look, I'm a UM guy first and foremost, and a Dolphin fan. Anything else, really?
I remember a couple months ago you were going for the Tampa Bay Rays against my Dodgers.
That's just because I was going against the Dodgers. It had nothing to do with that. It was Tampa.
Nothing to do with Florida?
Nothing to do with Florida. Just the fact that, I was going, I was rooting against the Dodgers. I was rooting against you.
But you hear about Amendola talking about Brady the Patriot way and kind of dissing Bill Belichick and the Patriots. He said Brady's the Patriot way, not the whole operation over there.
Well, we mentioned before, Bill Belichick keeps, he runs a very tight ship. What Amendola also said is that he really likes Bill Belichick as a coach, where he started, disagreeing with Belichick was when he put on the GM hat. Oh. Because, he tries to make sure that everybody goes into, the Patriot way is making sure that everybody takes less money so he can bring in other people and he can get more rings. So basically you sacrifice yourself as an individual for New England in order to win. Gotcha. And that's why a lot of the guys, if they want to win, they know where before they could go and win, right? If they really wanted that ring. However, some of these guys like Amendola, now Brady, and others are thinking, you know what? It's time to take care of me.
Right.
And so that's when it's bye-bye Belichick and bye-bye New England.
Right. Well, I mean, he won there. I think he got 2 Super Bowls, so I don't know what he's complaining about. I mean, I think he was bounced around the league. Now,
he made his money. He played for Dan Patricia, an extension of the Belichick way in Detroit. So...
Well, Tom Brady said that, Belichick is one of his biggest mentors. He praised him yesterday as a coach and a mentor. And, so obviously it looks like the relationship is good there, or I don't know if there was a publicity stunt, whatever, who cares? But that's their deal.
He's just concentrating on Super Bowl Sunday, winning with Tampa, getting another ring, his 7th ring. I mean,
beating Mahomes.
Beating Mahomes. And that's another thing. Patrick Mahomes could become the first quarterback 25 or younger to win 2 Super Bowls. Not only could he win it, back to back, which the last team to win back to back was New England with Tom Brady. But not only that, this could be or could have been Kansas City's 3rd straight Super Bowl. You got to remember that there was a defensive offside play at the very end of the AFC Championship, Kansas City against the Patriots, and that gave Tom Brady a first down, and then that was that. Otherwise they probably could have closed out that game, and this could have been the Chiefs' 3rd straight Super Bowl, which is incredible to think about it. I mean, what Mahomes has been able to do as well. He is probably one of the most talented guys right now, and playoff career-wise, Mahomes is number one in offensive yards per game with 318, passing touchdowns per game. The passing touchdown to interception ratio is 17 touchdowns to 2 in the playoffs for Patrick Mahomes. That's incredible.
17-2, wow.
17-2. And his passer rating is the highest in the history of the NFL in the postseason at 109.8.
But he has good players around him. Kelsey, I mean, one of the best tight ends in the league.
If not
Got
the
Tyreek
best right
Hill.
now.
I mean, Kelsey playing against Gronk, which is one of the top, Gronk's, he was good there. Kelsey was talking good about Gronk. I think it was yesterday. He was talking about how, he looked up at Gronk, and Gronk's got some great games and great success as a tight end, but Kelsey is doing.
Well, I think Kelsey has redefined the tight end position, because not only does he line up as a tight end, he lines up in the slot. He's lined up in the backfield. Yes, he can block, but he's very crisp with his routes as well. Not only that, one of the things that Gronk also thanks Travis Kelce for is he started getting the tight ends to be paid, as they should be paid.
Right.
And there's a lot of, young up and coming tight ends. You've got Noah Fant in Denver. You've got what's the name of the tight end in Vegas, who's a great tight end, and he's going to get paid as well.
Soller or whatever.
Yeah. You've got so many tight ends right now that are up and coming, and George Kittle. Now the tight end position is not only going out there and block. You've got good tight ends all around the league.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to give it up to the best tight end of all time, Tony Gonzalez. He was the guy that made basketball players come into the football, instead of playing basketball, play football at that position and be like a wide receiver, tight end type of.
Jeremy Shockey, another
Jeremy
guy.
Shockey was
Jeremy
another,
Shockey, who went to the University of Miami. I have to get that in. But Jeremy Shockey was another guy.
Darren Waller is the one you talk about from Vegas.
Darren Waller.
We can tell we don't really care about the Raiders too much. So,
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham was another.
Jimmy Graham,
at his prime, he was
a great basketball player at the University of Miami as well. And look what he did.
He went to Miami too.
He went to Miami too. I can start rattling off a bunch of players from Miami. You're going to have to shut me up.
I mean, you have Antonio Gates was also a good.
Antonio Gates was a great tight end, for the Chargers. I mean, one of the best tight ends of all time as well.
Yeah, top 3 or something like that.
Yeah, right? Yeah, absolutely. And so, the tight end position has been evolving in the last few years. But Travis Kelce, he is the number one target for Patrick Mahomes. And you've got to know exactly where he's lined up, and wherever he is, they have these little shuffle passes close to the goal line that work phenomenally. The Chiefs do. A lot has to do with Eric Bieniemy being, a genius as well as far as calling offensive plays. But, both of these teams have a great cast, surrounding the quarterback. You've got great receivers in Mike Evans and Goodwin for Tampa Bay. You've got Leonard Fournette as a running back. You've got great tight ends. Ronald Jones, another great running back for Tampa Bay. I mean, they've got everything, and so do the Chiefs. I hate to say it, but I think the big difference and what's going to make a big difference in the Super Bowl is the defense. The defense right now for Tampa Bay is playing lights out. And everybody says it, offense wins you games, defense wins you championships. And right now, what, they're able to do, this defense is incredible. They've got a great front four. They put a lot of pressure on you. You've got Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea. You've got JPP on one side.
JPP with like 3 fingers, right?
with 3. Yeah. Well, he doesn't need to throw the ball, so he's okay.
Look, I think what they got to do, Jimmy, is they got to stop Kelsey and stop Hill. You know, hit him first. Let Mahomes, if Mahomes wants to run the whole game, let him run.
Yeah.
Let him run. Like, just stop those guys and let's see what Mahomes does. I mean, and that's very dangerous too, because we saw him run against the Bills, and look what happened there.
No, they've got, you know, and they've
No,
got
the Browns was the Browns.
The
They were
Browns.
where he got knocked out of the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's very dangerous, especially running with number 45. What's it? White, the linebacker.
Yeah. Devin White.
Devin White hits you. He's out.
You know, they've got great safeties as well. A great backfield, defensive backs. You know, you've got Antoine Winfield Jr., Whitehead, 2 great safeties. You know, they've got good corners. And Todd Bowles is a great defensive coach, great defensive coordinator. In the game that Tampa lost to KC this year, I believe it was 20-7 in the first half. They came back and they only allowed 1 more score. Yeah, they lost that game, but Todd Bowles made changes. He was able to dial in some, you know, new defensive formations and everything, and he confused Patrick Mahomes. And I believe that's what he's going to do now for the Super Bowl. And I think, you know, we're going to see this defense really try to confuse Patrick Mahomes, and that's where I think the difference is going to be. I think the defense for Tampa is the one that they're going to create turnovers, and that's going to win it for them. I don't think it's going to be Tom Brady. Yes, Tom Brady's going to get all the accolades. It's going to be his 7th Super Bowl.
Are you going for Tom? Whoa, hold on.
No. But no, look. I think Tom Brady didn't play that well. Tom Brady didn't play that well against Green Bay.
In the first half,
he had 3 picks.
In the first half.
First half, he played
great.
Well. Second half, he was mundane at best. So,
but some of those picks were a little. They were like wide open picks.
No, yes, they were. He threw one. The first pick was a horrible pick that he threw. The other 2, you know, he had pressure, but we also know once you put pressure on Tom Brady, he's not the same quarterback.
Right.
And we've been saying that for the past few years. But I think the defense is going to be the big key in this matchup. I really, really do.
Bowles against Bieniemy. He's going to be the 2 coaches, those 2 minds right there that didn't get a coaching job, which is kind of crazy.
Well, in the first game, Todd Bowles blitzed Patrick Mahomes 45% of the time. I wonder what he's going to do this time. He likes to blitz, yes, but he also changes his coverages very well. And I think that, you know, if he can get pressure on Patrick Mahomes with the front 4, then, you know, I think Mahomes is going to have a lot of problems because they do a wonderful job of covering the receivers and everything else. Mahomes is going to have to run. He's going to have to create.
He's the best at creating, though.
Oh, he is. He absolutely is. It's going to be a very interesting Super Bowl.
I mean, last year, what he did in the fourth quarter when they under pressure, when he was scrambling and he flicked that ball down the field, I think it was 20-10 in the fourth quarter.
20-10 to start the fourth quarter. That's right.
He flicked that ball down there to I forgot who it was, but it was unbelievable because he was scrambling on his back foot. He just flicked that ball down there.
And that's what he does. And that's why you have to keep an eye on. It had to be Tyreek Hill.
And that's the thing. They got to lock him down. Because Tyreek Hill's so fast that when Mahomes is moving around back there, he's moving around out in the field.
And Kelsey as well.
Kelsey's they're in sync, those guys, and that's what makes them dangerous. But if
Nicole Hardman, that's another guy.
Yeah,
Sammy Watkins.
I forgot about Sammy. He was in the Ram before, right?
So you have a lot of receivers.
Le'Veon Bell.
You got Le'Veon Bell, for God's sake. So there's a lot of weapons.
It's coming. It's Tampa. If Tampa's defense plays a big game, Tampa Bay will win the game.
That's what I think. I think it's going to come down to Tampa's defense.
Tampa's defense, because I don't think Tom is going to make mistakes. He's going to not make many mistakes in the Super Bowl. Like he's
probably not. Probably not. I don't think he will get, a tremendous amount of yards. He might be close to 300. I don't know if he's going to go over 300, but he doesn't need to go over 300.
No turnovers.
If the defense plays the way that I think the defense is going to play, Brady doesn't need to throw for 300 yards. However, I do believe that Patrick Mahomes needs to go over 300 yards for them to win.
Yeah, of course.
I really do.
Yeah. I mean, I think Fournette's going to have a good game in running the ball. They got two options there with Jones and Fournette. I don't know. Like I said, the defense. It's all about the defense.
It's all about the defense.
We'll see.
And we're going to,
Jimmy might be going for Tampa Bay. He's a Florida guy. We all know this already.
I have, that's what I believe.
TB12 shirt.
I'll tell you who I want to win or whatever in our next show. We're going to have a show.
We're doing a
Super Bowl show
coming out Saturday.
Yeah.
Morning.
So this is just a little bit of, we're going to come at you as well with, all the bets, all the prop bets, which makes, Super Bowl Sunday really fun.
We might agree on for Tampa Bay. You might go with Tampa.
You never know. You never know. You're going to have to wait and see. But I think we have one last order of business before we close this show out.
Yeah, we do. We have. You were talking about the giveaway?
Yes, the giveaway.
Yeah, we talked about it on our show for our YouTube subscribers. The ones actually we can see, the ones that are public. Some of them are private. We weren't able to see the names, but we're gonna fix that here. And we have another option. But we're actually this week we're giving out. We did a raffle. And we did it on a machine.
Yes.
It's on the computer. You put the names in, and it brings out the names. But we're actually raffling off this hat here. Will be the winner for this week's raffle is Earl Raymond. So Earl Raymond, you are the winner this week. We'll be sending you out a hat. We need you to send us an email to talkshitsportshow@gmail.com, or you can put your information here on a comment, or send us on Instagram, Talk Shit Sports Show on Instagram. Send us a private DM us there, and we'll make sure we'll get you that hat. We're going to be giving out apparel every week. We also have shirts, like this. We have hats.
I still need to get mine.
Yeah. How about he wear a TB12 shirt?
No.
TB12,
No,
Jimmy Weed and TB12 shirt.
No.
Florida,
that ain't going to happen.
So, but that's our show for today, guys. We're doing a Super Bowl show, so it's coming out on Saturday. This show comes out on obviously every Wednesday. We're coming out with our show every weekly Wednesday, but this Saturday, Super Bowl show. Hopefully we get Jimmy Weed to turn over and stick to his home state of Florida and go for...
No, it's not my home state. That's where I went to school. That's where he got baptized at the University of Miami. That's right.
A late night there. And all the,
I bleed orange and green.
And I bleed blue.
Yeah. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All
right, guys. Well, thank you for joining our show today. We'll see you soon. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube. And also, if you subscribe to YouTube, some of you guys are private. Make sure when you subscribe, leave a comment that you subscribe so we can put your name in the raffle.
Yes.
And you can also send us a message on Instagram, DM that you subscribe to YouTube. Just put your name in there, and we'll get you in the raffle so we can get you, and hopefully get some gear as well. We want to get as much gear out there as possible. So, all right, guys, have a great day, and it's all about LA.
Nope, all about the U, baby.